playing basketball. Really. They're shooting.
Yes. That's why I text my team. I specifically go through the videos, and I tell my team, when we shoot a three off of a pass, we shoot 45%. When we shoot threes off of a dribble, we shoot 20%. And that's through like 80 different threes, sets. So don't just dribble and chuck it out.
Right. Yeah. Looks like Mike about it.
Well, I'll hang out for a little bit. See if he comes up.
Also, this is, I don't know what the hell's going on with this camera. But it won't focus. Oh, I'm getting frustrated. I just have to watch it in from this. Best I got. My back is killing me right now.
Yeah, when I do the camera, I pull the desk all the way through and I sit high rather than sit up right.
Oh shoot, it still says overtime.
Tan was 2 of 16 from 3 last game against us. Yeah. But again, the Pistons are like this too. They shoot threes off the dribble. Rather than work the ball around and pass it and then shoot, they just play guy dribbles and chuck it out. That sucks.
Yep. And that just like shows you what their mentality is too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Because the thing is, they're good enough that sometimes it's good. Sometimes it works.
Right.
But just because it works doesn't mean it's the right thing. Mike got a T too.
Seen that, yeah. You only made one of those though, right?
Shot missed him both.
Both. I knew this was.
So, I get to be you this time around.
You what?
I tell you that.
Yeah.
They're going to be pretty bad.
I mean, these are like probably the best two defenses, to be honest. Too.
You know? Alright, Chad, are you ready? I know you probably already thought I was a nerd. Or are you ready for a little bit more nerd stuff? I put together extra team stats.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Because I was curious. It's easy. I'm in Excel all the time. I know Excel real well. So it's as simple as just like copying stuff over in my formula to the rest. Pistons only have low points against because they play small. If you go by points per possession, they're like middle to bad.
Really?
Yes. But, so like in our average game, we'll have 65 possessions for the Mustangs. And an Pistons win, they'll have like 50.
Right. Okay.
So like they give up 1.15 points per possession, whereas the Liberty give up 0.9, which is a big difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So even though their points against are about the same, it's because of the possessions, not
Yeah.
because of good defense.
Well, not too high of a start for Liberty.
What Liberty are 12?
The Liberty are?
Oh, aren't they? I thought I've seen them score all the way ups.
No, the Pistons are. Pretty much the Pistons
I'll watch. You're the scorer, you know.
are. Yeah. Stretcher. Get the stretcher. Buggy, I can't zoom in. For whatever reason, the camera's not focusing.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, we'll check in. Okay. Hoodie.
What are you trying to tell him?
Hoodie. No hoodie. On cam.
And I like Justice a lot too. He's just
Yeah.
such a good player. Like he knows how to play the game.
Tech Tyler.
Also, you notice that season that Jalen's team looks the most
Yeah.
is
He's scoring the lowest. Remember what I said about Cam? No hoodie. I told you. It's an,
you guys got
it's an unspoken rule.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, Chad.
I can't believe he played. That's wild.
And as you know, what's it makes for his daughter too.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
13.
terrible.
Hello. All right. Final game of the evening. Tyler about took out the
I nearly
whole operation here.
Broke my surface with my dissertation on it. That would have been bad.
Not really worried about that. I was more worried about Chad
Welcome back to the smelliest commentating booth you have ever sat in.
because of Chad. Still wearing the flower. Appreciate it. Last game of the night, we have the Liberty versus the Pistons, and it's a 40-35 game with the Liberty leading the Pistons.
A lot of swinging in this game. Pistons were up big to start off Liberty's comeback. I don't know if you overheard me talking to Chad. Been a lot of talk about points given up and defense and whatnot. And some industrious players in the league like to keep extra stats. Not going to name names. You probably guess who. But what you can do is you can break down possessions. So rather than points given up, it's points per possession scored. So a team like the Pistons, if you look at their stats, they like to play slow. An average game for them, they have about 56 possessions, anywhere from 50 to 56 possessions. A team like the Liberty, they'll get up to the 70s. So they like to play more points. Now the defense, in terms of points given up for Pistons, rock bottom, very low. And I do think they play good defense. But I also think that a factor of that is that they play fewer possessions,
Yeah.
whereas the Liberty like to go. So if you look at points per possession per team, I have the Pistons giving up 1.14 points per possession, which is actually worse than the Wolves and worse than the Mustangs. If you look at Liberty, points per possession for opponents is 0.97. That's the best in the league.
Some pretty good facts there. What's the Wolves?
What do you want to see?
What are we?
So here's the deal, all right? Wolves,
1.12. That's pretty good.
1.12, and it's wiggle room. It's
Yeah.
wiggle room.
I'll take
And not
it.
everyone keeps exact stats.
Yeah.
I get it. Don't take it too seriously, but if you're in that realm, you're playing good defense. You score more points per possession than you give up. That's where you want to be.
Just not translating to wins, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
So, just real quick, we just had a technical on Tan. Jalen shot 2 free throws. It's a 44-35 game now with 6.5 minutes left. I'll let Tyler get back to some of the stats here.
No, we're good. That's interesting commentary. Do you think is Tan usually set after one, or do you think he's going to come back for more?
I think he's a smart player. I think he will know to
I agree.
be smart about it, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I think
He's going to get his money's worth.
getting frustrated, though, it's definitely a frustration.
He's not alone on that front.
No, and
So the thing about the Pistons is they can be hot and cold, right?
Yeah.
Fair to say?
yeah, they played us and they shot lights out. I
Yep.
mean, they have the shooters on the team. I'll give them that.
Great take.
Strong rebound with Kyrie. He's very emphatic when he grabs those.
So I know this is on the website as well, but you can keep track of efficiency, which is basically most stats that you can acquire as a
Right.
basketball player put together. Kyrie's like in the top 8
I like to say I'm leading that.
by a large margin. It's not even close.
Kyrie's, it's me.
and you missed a
Jalen.
game.
That's correct. Me, Jalen, and then Kyrie. And I will say Ben Cameron was leading that. But he's missed 3 games, and he's still like 6th.
Okay.
So that puts numbers into perspective. That he's having a great year. He got sick. Hopefully he gets feeling better.
Is
back
that
here.
is he got sick? We'll
Yeah.
get well soon, Ben.
Yeah, hopefully he gets feeling better here. Good guy.
Yeah. If it causes you to shrink a little bit, I won't be upset. But
Yeah.
but get well.
Maybe he'll lose some of his jumping ability.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't need to be dunking all the time or anything like
No,
that.
he took an alley-oop against us. But it is nice when I brag about the leagues that I play into my friends. I can be like, well, the dude we played last week took an alley-oop, so tell me about the league you're in at the YMCA.
Josh Williams drives in there and he steps back out. Liberty, that's
That's a good inside position. Is
Yeah.
that a switch or is CJ guarding James?
I think there was a bit of a switch there.
Okay. See, this is what the Pistons want. They need to slow this game down. The faster it goes, I think the more it suits Liberty. So I don't know this guy, Justin. He's new. He didn't play last year. Justice,
he
yeah.
played the season before and he was on the Kings part of the championship team.
He's a good player.
Yes, he's very good. Part of the reason why they won that championship against the Lions again,
Yeah.
previous year, I think he had like 24 points, but he had that mid-range game going that game.
He's kind of a threat to do everything.
Yeah, he was JB's first pick in the first round that year, last pick of the first round. Slasher, shoot the ball. He's a smart player.
Yep. Highlighter colored shoes.
Good guy to play with on the court. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Fits in well with the Pistons. I would say the only
He seems
thing-
like a tough dude, right?
Yeah. The Pistons have a nice little balance with inside out game with Josh Grissom. And I will say Tan and CJ don't play like how tall they are.
Oh, no,
they're very
yeah,
aggressive. They're
absolutely.
strong, And I think some people don't realize that. They realize, oh, they got size as Josh, but that ain't the truth. Because Tan usually
a
averages
rebound right
like
there.
6 to 8 rebounds a season.
Yep. And high basketball IQ between the two of those guys. You can trust them on like an offense to looking back and forth and finding the open man.
CJ having one of the better years coming off Achilles tear.
I feel like even when he tore his Achilles, I still saw him at the BG Rec playing ball.
Yeah, he was. He was there lightweight doing some work. Hard to keep him off the court.
That was nice. No, guys like me appreciate that. I felt like I was hanging with him. Now I know he had an Achilles tear. Some contact there too.
A little behind the back pass from James there. Kyrie with a nice swoop. Oh, stolen by Tan. Might have been a little bit of a foul there. Tan is being smart about the way he's not talking right now.
They need to stay focused because they're very much in this game. I know it's been a little bit of a slump here since the Liberty have come back, but they're very much in this game.
It's only a 5-point game here.
Yeah.
Chad, maybe get some clarification on this. Is it 2 techs you're out in this league?
2 techs you're out.
2 techs you're out. Team's really got to be smart about that.
Ooh, big three. Big three. 1-score game.
CJ's having a good year. He's averaging around 17.5 points a game, coming off an injury. I like to see where he's going to be at when he's 100%.
Yeah.
Before injury, he was one of the best players in the league. Kind of a stat sheet stuffer.
Well, and, he's a stat sheet stuffer that, like a Mike Bennett, you want to have on your team. I obviously, stats are good, but there's a feel of playing with people. You know what I mean? I'd be happy to play with CJ.
He was part of a very talented Mustangs team that year, season 5. Him, Tan, their GM, AJ Cecil at the time, was a part of Jalen's championship runner-up team, season 4, 20-point, 6 rebounds, 6 assist guy. Andy Burmeister was about 6'3", lanky post. They had a lot of talent on that team when CJ went down, and I think a lot of people were thinking Mustangs Vandals that year, because they had JP Sellis too on that the Vandals team with Austin Armstead. Jake Schwiefert was a GM. Tim Harris was on that team. It was a good team. Then JP stopped playing, but a lot of talent's flown through this league.
Yeah.
And you see some of the people who have kept their seasons going here, and Tan, CJ, Jalen. Josh is back now after a little Hawaii hiatus. Justice came back after winning a championship.
Yep.
Josh Grissom's been here forever. Chad Clayman's favorite player. Needless to say, Josh Grissom, favorite player.
True story.
Josh Grissom, favorite player. Yep. Hustler.
He lifted me airborne on multiple occasions when we played last week, and I was trying to box him out.
Strong dude.
That's a strong guy.
Honestly, I'm not sure if he even works out anymore. I just think he's just naturally built.
Yep. That's the way to do it. I need to get on that program.
A lot of Wheaties, Tyler.
I'm not a breakfast person. That's probably why.
That's maybe your issue then. It's the most important breakfast or most important meal of the day, Tyler.
I'll look into it. And right on cue. Ooh.
We had a 3-second call there on Josh Grissom. Not really sure about that. He was trying to make a move.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. I didn't really see. Maybe he was camped out there prior to that, but. Nice shot by
Eric Wolfram was a good draft pick. He was a really good player for the Vandals. He's one of those players, you can't say this a lot about everybody else, but he moves real well without the ball. How nice is it to have one of those guys
I
that
think
moves
he was,
well without
and
the
he
ball?
was picked in the 3rd round.
I think they forgot he existed. That was when they took 10 minutes to take a draft pick and should have lost it.
And I think, yeah, that's true, Chad. We need a timer at the draft.
You should steal.
3
Next
minutes.
person gets to pick.
But, Jalen's a commissioner of the league, and that's just, he's perk of being that, I guess.
It's a very D team, Liberty team.
Probably the best team Jalen's ever had.
And it's come in depth. It's come at kind of the expense of maybe his MVP level numbers, but I think he's happy with the wins, don't you think?
Yeah, stats are down, but it's accumulating to wins, and he's got more depth this year. Last year it was Jalen and Josh. 29 points, and Josh averaged about 22.
Well, and more importantly, if you watch them, they both had the ball 90% of the time.
And I think now, they do have the ball in their hands, but I think the main thing is when they give it up, there's someone else that can score, knock down a shot. Yep. I think that's what you have with Eric. And even James is fitting really nice with them. I think Kyrie going to the hole is almost unstoppable most of the time.
Yep.
Bigger guy.
He seems to be
sneaky
have
athletic.
A great knack for getting his own rebound even too.
He's a high IQ player, and I think Jalen drafted a lot of guys who score the basketball. They know where to be, and that they fit in a lot better with them. Josh for 3 misses that. Taylor's a strong rebound. Actually, Jalen's season 14 that lost to the Kings. Tan was on his team that year.
You're like an LBL historian.
I look things up, That Kings team though was best team ever assembled. JB, Thurman, you had CJ, who was your defensive player of the year almost every year.
Big three.
Triple-double guy.
Yep.
You had AJ Cecil, or excuse me,
Getting sloppy.
Kings. Malik, Terrell.
Wow.
I mean, that team was just, you don't get much better than that.
Yeah. Oh, big run here.
Josh
Quite a few
Williams with
threes
another
from
three
Liberty.
with the braids, 59-48.
So, Mike, another stat we keep for our team is 3 shot off of a pass versus 3 shot off of a dribble.
Mm-hmm.
When we shoot 3s off of a pass, we shoot 45%. When we shoot off of a dribble, we shoot 20%. The last 3 threes by the Liberty, straight off a pass. Josh, I think, stole that stat from me last week. Probably put it into effect with his team.
Josh is he's a smart player too. He knows when to take his shots.
Yes. Oh, they got him with the hand. With a little push off there.
That was a good call. I'll give him that.
It's tough. If you're going to call that, you got to call them all like that.
Yeah, you got to be consistent. Josh with the half-court heave. Oh, and he just about puts it in. That really would have been tough to come
That
back
would have been
from.
a dagger.
We're looking at a 59-49 game at the end of the third. Liberty leading. We'll see if the Pistons can make
Little
a
mini
run. I just think the Liberty's depth just wears on you.
It really does. Well, and like I said earlier, so the more shots, the more points you can put up, the more I like the Liberty. The more the game kind of goes and goes and goes, the more I like the Liberty. If the Pistons can, so Pistons are at their best when they can get, if they get up by 6, the Pistons being up by 6 is like any other team being up by 12.
Yeah.
Because they just milk the possession,
Yep.
milk the possession.
That's
milk
what they did
the
against
possession.
us, and it was smart.
Every bucket counts.
We're
Every
down
bucket counts.
by-
Every miss just eats away at you. When they're down like this is something we got to see them pull through.
Yeah.
You know, because they have to play outside of their comfort zone a little bit. Now, they can shoot. They can get hot. But getting hot's not making it every time.
Right. The Liberty, I mean, everybody wants to sit here and talk about how Jalen's never won a championship.
Sure. I would love to talk about that.
You know, he's been there. He's had some good teams. He lost in the semis last year.
Yep.
Lost in championship season 4. Season 5 was a down year for them. They lost in the first round.
Yep.
Not a good year for him. That was their first season in this league, and just wasn't. He just didn't have the right guys around him. He drafted King Goss with his first pick.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best scorers we ever had in this league. Didn't work out. Traded for Ben Cameron. But Ben Cameron wasn't quite the same player he is now.
Interesting.
Came off
Let's go, Denzel.
an injury, or not injury, but sickness. He was in the hospital for about a week, almost died.
This is Ben you're talking
Ben
about?
Cameron, yeah.
Man.
So he wasn't in his basketball shape. Came back next season with the Lions, was a completely different player.
Running the break. Here it is. Lots of possessions, fast shots. That's what Liberty wants.
James really got up there for that rebound.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a Tom Chambers bump there. You remember that picture of Tom Chambers
Yeah.
going up for the dunk?
Chad Clayman eating his jalapeno combos over there. I'll try
The
one.
booth already smells worse enough, so there's no shame in
I'll take
throwing
two.
out the jalapeno combos.
Are they spicy?
Thank you. I'm good.
A little bit.
Good reverse layup. Pistons looking a little bit tired now, giving up some easy buckets. That's very un-Piston-like.
Excuse my eating.
Today's live stream brought to you by Combos.
I don't know if we have the right to say that, Tyler.
The VFW and Combos. Oh, put it up.
Good work, Josh.
Josh Williams
Another
is
three off
feeling
a
it right
pass.
now.
Another 3 off a pass. It seems like the Liberty are just kind of flying down the court and finding open spots, and it's just exhausting right now for the Pistons. A lot of hands on hips, some talking. Game's kind of opened up right now.
Game is getting a little chippy.
Yeah, game's
it
opened
is.
up a
Chad Clayman's got that on video. It's a 66-51 game with 6.5 left to go.
Oh, he's in the huddle now. They get along. Outside of the court?
I don't know. I don't think they're around each other. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Can't answer that. Sorry.
Tan had to know that was. I mean, he was getting what he wanted there, right?
I mean, Josh is just. I mean, he's just. I mean, he's. You know, he's.
I mean, at this point, you're down by 15. You're trying to make a message to the team, I guess. Your frustration's coming up.
Yeah, but you need him on the court. It's a 6.5 point game, 6-minute game of. It's only 15 points. We've seen larger leads gone.
Think we can get him to comment in the booth?
I don't know if we want that right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Tan, you're always invited. Pistons down to 5 players.
You know, they drafted Alec Gregg, and he hasn't shown up all this year, too.
Tough one. That's a tough one. You can't
I
say
think
that
Tatum was
they
relying
wouldn't
on
have
some
helped
shooting with that. Oh, he puts up a 3. James misses that. Denzel with the rebound. I think now you just got to get the ball in CJ's hand and hope he lets, you know.
Denzel, student I have at BG, great student. Gave good speeches, had interesting topics to talk about.
That's good to hear.
Makes his own beats. Cool dude in general to talk to. I like his shoes.
Nice shoes. I like the shirt. The pink shorts. Looks good.
The threes are just falling.
Josh
in.
is feeling it right now, and I'm not.
Well, and when you play the Liberty, again, even though they are deep, you absolutely need someone in the face of Jalen and Josh at all times.
You know, and Josh, you know, he hasn't played since season. He played last season, but he played since season. I want to say 3, 2 or 3. And he had a 44-point game, and you know, Josh is a good player, but I just hadn't seen the takeover mode yet until now. I mean, he's.
Do you think the feistiness is contributing? I mean, just because something happens doesn't mean it's cause and effect, but does the chippiness, does that bring out an extra bit in Josh?
I think he's just playing within himself.
He's
right
a good
now.
player, and good players play good, right? Fair enough. Yeah, you called me out on your last commentary. I hadn't made foul shots. That's just a stat error, I'd like to point out. The game you missed, I was lights out.
After a brief pause, we're right back now. It's a 72-53 game now.
Yeah,
Liberty
up to
leading.
19.
You know, the Pistons haven't done a bad job tonight getting Josh Gibson the ball, though. He's. I think you got to feed that man.
I think you do, because I mean, especially if you're looking to get fouls called back on your team. Like he's a physical guy. In order to stop him, you got to kind of push him back.
He's ISOing right now. I love to see it. That's a good D by Josh there.
Come on, Denzel. Bingo.
Nice 3 by Denzel.
Good. He always got that high archer. Holds the form.
You know, you would think
Fun to watch
You would
going
think
in.
maybe there's only about a minute left in this game, but there's still 5 minutes left to play in this game.
Yes. What time is it? 9:09.
Nice take by CJ.
As we know, too, point differential matters. If there's a tie at the end of the year, we had that happen with multiple seedings last year.
I'd like to shout out Tyler Layton for doing the Wolves clock because he
Yep.
owed me one for doing his because he was being lazy and was back in Finley. So
Tyler Layton. Yep. Shout out.
He owed me after his 30 ball he put on us tonight.
How many did he score?
I think he thinks he had close to 30, which he probably did.
What if you take away the bank 3-pointers? Then how many?
He's got 27.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I think it's because he had the 24 on the back of his jersey.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even put that together that that's what that was about.
Yep.
Okay, cool move.
Yeah.
Cool move.
Love to see it. That was Conwell's good, Chad.
They're all right. I don't really like them, to be honest.
No?
You want more?
No. Can I say Roos or chicken? Any LBL fans,
You
players?
gotta get back home after this? No?
Yep.
Jalen Myers will be signing autographs at downtown after this game.
First day of the semester tomorrow. I haven't finished my syllabus. Don't tell my students that. I got some work to do. Basketball comes first.
It is really true when a professor or teacher, it really is a 3-month job.
I'm technically I'm mainly a PhD student, so the professor stuff just kind of helps me get free tuition.
Dr. Tyler here after a while.
PhD candidate.
Dr. Hall.
Currently, yes. That's how I will appear on the draft board. I will make sure of it. Good take, good steal. You know, that rim, we did the same thing. I think there's just kind of a lid on it. Maybe the circumference is a little bit smaller than the other rim.
I think Ben Goose and I might have been a little bit with a few of our dunks. I think that's might be what it is.
Fair enough. It's good to have the ball in CJ's hands. I like to see him get in there again. Not a lot of screen going on, not a lot of movement on the Pistons end, but they trust their guy, and he delivers. Great move.
You know, I really thought at the beginning of this game,
He's lefty, right?
Yeah, it was a 12-4 or something like that game at the beginning. I thought Pistons might run away with this. Air ball by.
Yeah. I think they were in the 20s and single digits.
Yeah. Liberty found a way to fight back. I think that's just that depth again wearing down on you.
Well, and again, I just think the Pistons should have played slow. Not that that's. I know that sounds. I don't know. That's just the way they're good. You know, they should have really milked that lead.
Yeah.
Not that they need to be scared of the Liberty,
And usually
but there's a way that they
pretty
play.
good about that.
Yeah. Now it's tough when you're not getting the calls and you're a little frustrated by that. I know that kind of makes you want to come down and show it.
Yeah.
Make some moves. But they definitely had Liberty on the ropes.
Yeah.
Although it is a 10-point game. 240.
You know, I didn't even realize that, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'd be something if the Pistons somehow won this game.
That guy just keeps making free throws. It's really irritating.
Gets a lot of them.
Yeah, see, look at that. Oh, boy. Cam coming off injury, too. I'm glad to see he's landed that one just all right.
Cam, if you're going to watch this and listen back, that was about a 12-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Eric helped you with that a little bit, so don't think you had no 30-inch vertical.
It's
I'm
the
telling you
hang
right
time
now.
that matters, though. The hang time was key. The hang time was a good 3 seconds.
Now, if you wouldn't have let hoodie Pat Darrow go off on you last week, you might have your hoodie back on, and you might have had a 26-inch
You need the
vertical.
power of the hoodie back, Cam. I respect that you put it back in the cabinet for a game, but you need the hoodie back. Big 3 here. Yeah. 9-point game. 2 minutes to go. And they're still running. A 3.
Got a piece of that.
Unwarranted 3 there a little bit, maybe. Yeah, that's a good move.
7-point game. Any
150.
predictions, Chad? You got any
150
predictions
to
over
go.
there?
If the Liberty keep it slowed down and don't speed it up, I think they'll be able to hold on to the victory.
Yeah, I think that's what Jalen's doing right now.
They just got to slow down.
There's your Chad Clayman take. Slow it down.
Surprisingly, yeah, they're not really pushing up too much. They're just kind of letting them play here. Oh, there you go, turnover. Pistons very strong in that interior. You got to be careful when you're passing that ball in.
And there it is.
That's
5
what the
Lions
game.
or the
Timeout by the Pistons. Or timeout by the Liberty.
and I think you got to get the ball back in Josh's hands. He had the hot
121.
hand. He's probably made 6 threes tonight.
Well, again, it's the same. It's like the last game we commentated. It's 121. I know you want to play basketball, but you really have to think about kind of making them at least come out to you at half court.
Yeah.
If they're not going to do that, you don't have to be chucking the ball inside quite yet.
Little side note, I like to say the city of Tiffin has their courthouse lit up tonight purple and yellow in honor of Kobe Bryant.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So good to see it.
Did you see the Spurs and Raptors both took 24-second violations?
I also see that they're trying to get the All-Star game. One team to wear number 8 and one team to wear number 24. I think it'd be a nice little
That'd be cool.
shout out.
It doesn't seem real yet.
It doesn't.
I mean, not that I want to talk about something so morbid, but it doesn't. It's hard to even like.
Well, and the thing with Kobe, Tyler Layton tweeted it. He said a good point. You see Bill Russell, you see Magic.
Yeah.
You see, a lot of these old NBA stars, that our parents, or, we were younger, we grew up on.
Yeah.
You see them around at the games.
Yep.
And you always just, you saw Kobe around, and you thought that someday when he was in his 60s, 70s, you would see him.
Well, and I was
he's
telling
synonymous
Chad,
with the NBA.
I was telling Chad earlier, as a player, Kobe was very much to himself. His priorities were basketball. It was not about being a spokesperson or a celebrity or letting the people know what he was like going on inside his mind. And as a retired player, I think he was really starting to open up and kind of let people see who he was.
Yeah.
It's sad that we're not going to get more of that.
Yeah. Big hand one by Jalen there.
He's going to keep making free throws.
Yeah, it is. It's just, it's a sad situation.
Yeah. 108. Liberty up 7. 8 with the and 1.
And Kobe was a global icon.
Yeah.
How many people wear his shoes? You look around this league tonight, I bet you have 15 people wearing Kobe's.
Mm-hmm. And they're ugly shoes, too, which shows you how much they like Kobe.
I don't want to say they're ugly. It depends on what kind you get.
They're not top tier. How about that? They're a mid-tier shoe.
Good tip by Jalen Myers. I think that's
It's just the running. If you count back and just look at the layups, the fast break points Liberty's got, that's the difference.
And Josh Williams 3-pointers.
That's true. He's got to feel good about those. Those were some clean threes. Up 10, 40 seconds to go. Let's see a move here, Josh. Let's see a move here, Justin. Justice.
Denzel for 3, missed that.
Good rebound, CJ. 30 seconds to go. Trap in the corner.
Liberty really plays some aggressive defense here for 25 seconds left of the game.
They have a deep team, and everybody's looking to kind of show what they got, I think. Plus, it's been a chippy game. I suspect they were going to play till the whistle, right?
Yeah.
These guys are going to play till the whistle. Pop quiz question for you, Mike.
Yep.
Who is the best free throw shooting team in the league, and what percentage did they shoot?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say the Liberty.
Yep, correct.
I'm going to say 74%.
62%.
Oh,
League
wow.
leading 62%. The net is on fire.
Who's second?
Second is the Mustangs at 61%. Let's go. Probably taking a dip after today's game. Although Pat Darrell helping us out, keeping us up in the percentage there. 15 seconds, 9-point lead.
Well, it
think
looks like
that
the
will
Liberty
do
go
it.
home with a 79-70 win.
The undefeated season continues for the Liberty. Game over. Mike, it was fun.
It's been a pleasure, Tyler.
Hey,
We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Thanks, Chad, for the production. Great
And the
job.
combos.
Good to see the
He put the flower back in there.
good to see the Liberty and the Pistons shake it out, though. Good to see that. It's all love.
I think we've all been there on both sides, to be honest.
Yeah. Tyler Layton gets some post-game shots up.
Yep.
Bricks it.
No,
Hey.
that's okay. He misses the pregame. He misses the postgame.
Tyler.
That's the plan.
Free throws, buddy. Free throws. You may have had about 30, but you're about 1 for 12 from the free throw line. You probably would have had 35 if you made your free throws.
We're out of here.